You are live, queuing up the theme song. Here we go. I know. 9 minutes late. There's no such thing as time.
It's time to get real.
Time is an illusion.
It's a new experience. Yeah, keep your ears open for this one.
What's up, Jay?
You got a question for RLA? It's time to
Get some answers, baby.
now we get real. Get down. You gonna feel good now. Real good.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Reality Spirituality with yours truly, happiness specialist, inner peace practitioner. I'm giving myself another name, Oracle. That's right. Another title, Oracle. Titles, words, labels. Does it really matter? What's the meaning? What's it all about? Let me just give you a quick introduction. And if you're new to the show, welcome. I'm just going to give you a warning. You got to have your seat belts fastened. Buttons are going to be pushed. Triggers are going to be triggered. The interesting thing about today's topic is I'm going to talk about what's not talked about. I'm going to share what's not really discussed and not comfortable, not a real good feel fuzzy. No, when I say happiness specialist, it is about how to maintain. How do you maintain and or sustain an energy, a personal vibration of peace and contentment? How do you vibrate an energy of satisfaction? And I'm not talking about, I'm just going to sit around and do nothing and twiddle my fingers and pray to the gods and live in a cave. No, I'm talking about maintaining an energy while living in this world, which is ups and downs and highs and lows. At least that's the program. That's what's taught. The truth of the matter is, it is the programming that is the cause of the suffering. It is the mental programming that is the cause of the disappointment, the sadness, the whatever emotion you want to attach to it. Know that it is a programmed response. And today's topic, it is 2026 and we are shot out of a cannon this year, every year, but even more so, this is a story, but since turning 70, don't tell anybody, since turning 70, there has been an even clearer, more clear, more concise, more detailed, more focused, more discovering truth. And when I talk about the truth, I'm not talking about, your truth and my truth. I'm talking about universal truth. That let me turn this off. Turn this off. Okay. Now I lost my track of thought. I lost my track. Okay, backing up. Let me just give you my definition. My definition of happiness is the ability to maintain and sustain an energy of peace and contentment, regardless of what happens and regardless of what doesn't happen. Happiness, inner peace, contentment are all practiced skills, and the solution to all of these emotions and the stories attached and to why you're feeling this way. One of my favorite quotes, and it's not mine, of course. One of my favorite quotes comes from Guy Finley, Guy Finley, Finley. He's in, I think he moved to Florida, but he used to live in Oregon. And his quote is, "The feel is real, but the why is a lie." Let me just move this. The feel is real, but the why is a lie. And the reason, the behind that, the why is a lie, is because the programming, it is even a program to believe or to think that this meaningless, what is meaningful, what is meaningless, what is meaningful, all comes from where? It comes from the mind. It comes from the ego. That sense of purpose, that sense, oh, this is my purpose. This is my destiny. Well, purpose and destiny, purpose and destiny is scratch that. Scratch the purpose. What I want to say is, life is going to unfold. I have no control over how life unfolds. The practice is to be in control of the response, be in control of how to respond, be in control of the energetic response. So there's even more than just verbally or physically. There is an energetic response that is also practiced. And what does that mean? That means that whatever the universe, whatever term you want to use, universe, God, source, higher power, whatever the universe pitches to me, a pitcher has a good pitcher. Well, let's talk about a professional baseball player, a professional baseball player, a pitcher. What is it? The fastball, and I'm not really a baseball fan. The fastball, slow ball, curve ball, sinker, slider. What's the other one? I'm sure there's a lot of the change up. That's pretty good for somebody that doesn't really like baseball. That's what this life is. It is a continual, non-stop pitches, all different types of pitches. And the response is it possible? Ooh, this is really good. Is it response? This is just coming out right now. Is it with practice? With practice, I'm just speak for myself. I am able to hit every single pitch that the universe throws, and it's going to be a home run. Every pitch. Sinker, slider, fastball, curveball, slow ball. Every pitch is going to be hit, and it's going to be a home run. Now, that happens with a lot of practice, and that is what this show is all about. Happiness, contentment, inner peace are all practiced skills, just like being a chef, an athlete, a musician, especially a musician. And I'm talking about Carnegie Hall, are all practiced. You don't get to Carnegie Hall without practice. You don't get to be a professional athlete without practice. But everybody isn't going to value. Everyone isn't going to value the same things that I value. And so this show, don't think that I have answers for everyone. All I'm doing is sharing a different perspective. And you either resonate with it or you don't. Simple. Today's topic, before I do that, let me just ask a couple of questions I like to ask at the beginning of the show. How happy are you? Can other people hurt your feelings? Can other people offend you? Can other people disappoint you? That means you have expectations. Do you blame other people for how you feel? Do you blame your circumstances for how you feel? Are you in your business, or are you in the world's business? I was out to lunch with someone the other day, and they noticed the gentleman that was sitting across from us, and the lady that took our orders. We were eating, and the lady that took the order went to this gentleman, not at our table, and said, "How are you enjoying the food? Is there anything else you need?" But guess what? This lady didn't come to our table and ask us the same thing. How are you enjoying the food? Is everything okay? And so the person that I was with noticed that and said, "Did you notice that they asked him and they didn't ask us?" And that is another lesson right there. Stay out of everybody else's business. Practice not noticing what is happening how someone is treating someone else, and may not be treating you the same way. It doesn't matter. It's not personal. This not personal practice is, number one, it's a challenge, but number two, this is an impersonal universe. This is an impersonal experience. I know it feels personal, but it's not. Oh, by the way, excuse the look today. It's just a wake up, little wash the face, brush the teeth. This is it. As they say, this is a toe up look. Toe up, not tore up, toe up. I digress. So the even noticing how other people are treated, even if it's in a family, well, they're nicer to them. They're nicer to them than they are to me. They give them more attention. Trust me, when you practice being your own entity, meaning that there's a difference between a sun and a planet. There is a difference between the stars and a planet. Stars, suns are self-contained. They don't need a planet to help them with their existence, but the planets need. And so the practice is needing what I need. What fills me up is the relationship that I have with God, with the universe, with source. And that is it. If I'm depending on, and it's, when I say I'm talking about the mind, this Rebecca identity, this human identity. When Rebecca is always going to find something to be discontented with. And when I say Rebecca, I'm talking about Rebecca's mind is always going to find something that is wants more, or wants something different in the moment. And it is a practice to pay attention to be aware of which identity are you, which entity are you identifying with? Are you identifying with your human form, which is 98% of the population? Don't tell them. Or are you identifying with something even, I'm not going to say higher, but I'm going to say that is presence, that is the essence of creation, that is the essence, that is the energy, the essence, the consciousness. Because consciousness isn't offended, or it doesn't take things personally. And that is the practice, especially the older I get. I'm telling you, this human meat sack, not to say that I don't appreciate it, but to rely on this human will always keep me, and if it happens to me, it's going to you too, keep me stuck and keep me, we talked about this last week, imprisoned. And it's about breaking out of the programmed prison. And who is the warden of the prison? The mind. The mind is the warden. Let me look at my good morning, and good morning, Jay. Meaningless world. What program is that? That's right. So when I say meaningless, know that that word is even a program. Thinking that or believing that, and this is all my perspective, believing that there needs to be meaning or purpose, or there's this searching for something that is unsearchable, searching for something that is never lost, searching for when I say that is never lost, that it can't be lost. It's just the practice of tuning into the channel, tuning into a higher, tuning into source, God, universe, tuning in and staying tuned in and staying locked in. Now, it is a challenge in the human world, but when you are grounded, when you remain grounded in this presence, in this energy that is ever always present, that is where peace is always existing. The more human I identify with, the less peace there's going to be found. That's just my experience. Now, to start the show of what has meaning for you, let me just ask that question. What do you believe has meaning for you? We are all as different as our fingerprints. So what has meaning to you, for you? I'll tell you what's meaningful for me. And when I say meaningful, I'm talking about something that is feeding my soul. Number one, staying light with the belief, the trust, the knowing, the truth that this existence is not serious. It's not serious, and it ain't important. You see why I don't have any friends? It's not serious, and it's not important, and I mean nothing. Believe it or not, last week I was telling you about a friend of mine whose mother just, after she moved and relocated, just maybe a month later, she moved from New York to Florida. A month later, she's gone. Well, guess what happened this week? A gentleman that lives in the community that I'm in had dedicated his life, at least the last 5 years of his life. Well, let's see, 2020. Yeah, the last 5 years of his life to helping others heal. And when I say that, he had in his home equipment probably worth over $500,000. It was a lot of equipment. He had beamer pads, red light therapy, vibration plates, the latest technologies, all there to serve the community. And he would charge maybe $15, $10, $20 for a treatment that you would go outside. You know, if you went to a regular office, hundreds of dollars. So for red light therapy, for a half hour, he would charge $10. And people in the community flocked to him. He had, what else did he have? I mean, his whole house, from the living room to the bedroom to the office space, was all filled with equipment. All types of, what was there, something else that you put your feet in and it clears your blockage blocks, if your circulation, that's what it was. Circulations, then he would use a little he'd put it by your head and it wouldn't beep, and circulation isn't, your blood isn't getting all the way to your brain, or circulation, excuse me, on the arm, it would stop beeping. You're blocked here. I mean, this guy, research, he was like a scientist, medical scientist, always up on the latest, even to the point of different patches. Because of him, I started wearing these nicotine patches. Now, I never smoked, but nicotine is a nutrient. And what did I learn? Listen, I'm trying to remember. A nutrient that you can find in peppers, green peppers, different types of vegetables. You can Google it, look it up. But I started wearing not a lot of nicotine, but just a little bit for nutrient. My hair started getting thicker. It stopped shedding as much. This moment was dedicated to the community and dedicated to alternative medicine. That's what I want to say. Well, guess what happened? He dropped dead. He dropped dead at the beginning of January. I just found out 2 days ago. And I used to go to his home and get the therapy back and forth. And then I even referred a lot of people to his house. I mean, and what happened? The story is that, I don't know, how there's rumors start. The story is that he developed a lot of fluid in his legs, spiked protein. He had a spiked protein, and it was getting really bad. He wasn't able, he was in a lot of pain. He did not trust doctors. He didn't go to the doctor. And January 5th, done. From what I heard, he knew he was dying probably 2 weeks before. He could feel it. He could feel it 2 weeks before. He gave all of his equipment away to about 4 to 5 individuals. He stopped teaching. He was a fitness instructor too. He taught water classes, aqua classes for 25 years. He volunteered, elderly community. Healthy. When I say healthy, very conscious of what he put in his body, of what he did. Yeah. And done. And he's younger than I was. Let's see, I'm 70. He was, I think, maybe between 65 and 68. I know he was younger than me. My point is, he told me he had meaning helping others. That's how he found meaning. Again, all of us are different. Let me just share this. What has meaning for you, or what do you believe has meaning? And the other question I want to ask is, what do you control? I contend this is another level, but I contend there's nothing I have control over. Listen to this. Listen to this. I watched a video this week, and where is it? Hold on a second. Did I save it? I did save it. I watched a video this week, and it was explaining why, or giving an example why there is no free will. Now, I showed it to a couple people, and they didn't agree with the premise. Okay, hold on a second. Here we go. I'm just going to play it. Hold on. It's only 2 minutes. And this is the definition. This is his, not definition, but explanation and example of why he believes that we don't have free will. You ready for this? Seatbelt time. Hold on. What a show, huh?
If you have free will, tell me what your next thought is going to be. In fact, all of you try it.
Hold on.
See if you can see. If you have free will, tell me what your next thought is going to be. In fact, all of you try it. See if you can see what is your next thought going to be. Do you know what your next thought is going to be that you create? Or do you simply sit there and wait for your next thought to pop into your head? You wait. So are you the creator of your thoughts? Go ahead, create a thought. You cannot. That is one of the most profound learnings that I have taken from this, to sit there and say, go on then, create a thought. And you try, and you recognize that all you have the ability to do is wait. And you wait, and a thought comes in. The thought could be planning your next holiday. The thought could be a jam sandwich. The thought could be something about your past, or an idea about the future, or a person that you haven't thought about for 20 years. You have no idea what your next thought is going to be. But what the ego does is, when that thought arises, the ego goes, I did that. Go home today and try a very simple experiment. You sit and you ask yourself, what is my next thought going to be? Do I know what my next thought is going to be? If you are blessed with the understanding that you have not ever been able to create a single thought, it will destroy your idea of free will straight away. Because all your actions are based on your thoughts. And if you never created your thoughts, then you never created the actions that came after those thoughts. Then you sit back and you go, I really don't have an ego. God really is controlling every moment of my life, so much so that I don't even know the next thought that's going to come into my head. God is not something that's happening to you. God is something that's happening through you. If you have free will, tell me what your next thought is going to be.
Okay. Which was a really interesting concept. He's saying, if you have free will, what is your next thought going to be? And the other thing is, he's saying God is working through you. And I shared this with someone, and they didn't really, well, I don't believe the premise. Well, what is your, can you sit and say, my next thought is going to be? I tried it. Thoughts come in, thoughts go out. Thoughts go in, thoughts go out. But I'm not controlling what I think or what type of thoughts when I say I'm doing this. I'm not controlling thoughts. And that realization for me was very, very, has been such a relief that I don't have to control my thoughts, keep positive thoughts, and that thought is true, and that I know that thought's real, and it's still so much evidence for those thoughts to be real. Yeah, that's real. No, they're not. And the first one of the breaking of the chains, when I'm talking about chains, I'm talking about handcuffs, breaking of the handcuffs, believing that these thoughts are real. Number two, that are mine. Number three, are the truth. And defining meaning. And what if I define meaning as making people laugh, or which I do, But yeah, that gives me meaning. But what if I wasn't able to do that? What if I wasn't able to do what the mind says brings me meaning? What if for some reason I'm inhibited, or not, prohibited prohibited to do what the mind says is bringing me meaning? Then what? I went online and this is the AI definition of meaning. The meaning of life is deeply personal and a philosophical question with no single answer, but it generally revolves around finding significance, purpose, and coherence through various I gotta start practicing reading before I go on live. Oh Lord, let me start again. The meaning of life is deeply personal and philosophical question with no single answer, but it revolves around finding significance, purpose, and coherence through various avenues like relationships, finding meaning in relationships, finding meaning in contribution, finding meaning in spiritual connection. Personal growth, creativity, and experiencing life joys and struggles. The truth is that the mind will say this is meaningful or this is meaningless. And I go back to life is just an experience. This is just an experience. And with this meaning or thinking that it is meaningful is also another program, is also is also temporary, because what if I wasn't able? What if I wasn't able to say, my meaning is going to the gym and making people laugh, or my meaning is working out, or my meaning is smiling, or at people at strangers, or my meaning is teaching the class the truth about happiness. Yeah, that's meaningful. But what if I wasn't able to do any of it? I teach at a assisted living facility now. This is my third week. Am I going? No, I'm going into my fourth week. And there's two sections in this facility. There's the memory care, where it's a total lockdown. The people are locked in, because if they weren't, they would be wandering around. My father had dementia, and so did my mother. So both of them, I was very familiar with that state. But teaching a fitness class for people that are now I'm going to say suffering, that have been diagnosed with dementia to the point where they don't know where they are. Some of them don't remember their names. You know what I'm talking about? The people that are ending the days of their life like that. 20 minutes I go into this facility, and we're exercising, we're moving here, we're marching in our chair. It's all done sitting down. We're marching in our chair, we're moving our arms, we're stretching. And I look into, there's about 4 of them. 2 of them for sure, but there's 4 of them that exercise with me. The others, excuse me, the other ones, there's about 8 of them that just sit in their wheelchairs, and they're sleeping through the whole class. It's only 20 minutes. But for 3 to 4 of them that are awake, that look at me, they look right at me, and they do everything I do. That, if I put my thumbs like that, like, good job, they're doing this too. If I smile and I'm looking straight at them, they smile back. When I look into their eyes, and this is a story. This is a story. But when I'm looking into their eyes, the mind is telling me that the life that the life that is defined by the masses, life is gone. There is and I'm just trying to describe it. There's an emptiness about it looking. But that's not. But scratch that. Is that true? Is that true that there is an emptiness? Because for a moment, in that present moment, those people are locked in to everything that I'm doing. And some of them just stare at me like I'm a television or their entertainment, which is interesting. I have to say that when I first started teaching, it was overwhelming, only because I'm not even gonna give a story. It was overwhelming in a sense of, okay, how do I connect? That's what I want to say. How do I connect? How do I connect emotionally? And in the moment, there is an emotion of inclusion, that we're all doing the same thing at the same time. And I mean, I can look, I mean, I really have to keep staring too. I can't just look and just look away. There is a look, and we exchange, and we're looking at each other. And if I'm smiling, some smile back. And if I'm smiling, some don't. I don't even know why I'm getting off on this, but there is different type of connection that I get from them than I get from people that are not with this memory challenged. Limited mental capacity. That's what it's legally called. Limited mental capacity. And it's fascinating because I remember visiting my father. I remember there was probably a month that I hadn't seen him. And then I went back to see him because we lived in different states. And then I went back to visit after a month, and he says, I was waiting for you all morning. Like the month didn't even exist. There was no sense of time. Number one, there's no sense of time. You follow me? No sense of time, no sense of meaning, no sense of purpose. It's just an existence. It's a life of existence. And what is the truth? Existing without mental capacity is a different type. But even with that, I am able to reach something. I can't put a definition. I can't define it, but there is something. And even the woman, there's one woman, she's always on the right, and she sleeps, and while she's sleeping with her eyes closed, she's kind of bobbing her head to the music. Music is universal, by the way. Music is something that gets in the body, gets in the soul. It's drums, music, sounds is relatable. Even with animals. I'm really getting off now. This idea of finding or even putting meaning on anything, I'm going to say that it's the presence, it's the present moment, it's the drinking in, it's the sopping in, it's the soaking in, it is a soaking in like a sponge, the present moment. And the more I can The more I can have that experience of each moment is being drunk, each moment is being filled. I'm filling up with every moment, and that's the practice that's coming even more so now that I'm 70. It's not about specific moments. Oh, that was a good day. Oh, that was a good time. Oh, that was a good afternoon. No, it's every single moment. Yesterday, I was at my sister's, and her neighbor needed to go shopping. She didn't have a car. So all three of us, we didn't go inside with her, but I drove her to the grocery store. And it's even that, it's getting coffee. It's the simple, it's the smallest things. But this program that most of the world follows, 98% of the world follows, it's more specific to, oh, this is good, this is bad, this is enjoyable, this isn't enjoyable, this is a wanted moment, this is not a wanted moment. All moments make up this big puzzle. All moments make up this puzzle of what is called life. And there isn't, this is my practice now, there isn't any preference. There's no preference. I prefer this than that. All of it is rich. All of it is whatever that is. It's very difficult to describe. Define meaning. Some people find meaning from shopping, guilty, used to. Find meaning from large crowds, doing, being active, community. But my question still goes to, what if you don't have that anymore, or for whatever reason you can't experience it? Who knows what life is going to, or what's around the corner. And I'll tell you this, ask yourself this question: what defines meaning? Is what defines meaning for you, here we go, if what defines meaning for you, is that going to be meaningful in a year, 5 years, 10 years, 100 years? It's so tricky that I was sold a bag of goods. This life is not about what I was sold. It's not. By the way, if anybody's selling you, selling dissatisfaction, that's what the world sells. Dissatisfaction. Be dissatisfied with the moment. Be dissatisfied with what is. Be wanting more. Find something. I actually had my eyebrows, they're called nano brows, on Friday. And this, so I don't have to wear any makeup. And so the lady, when I was looking at them after she applied, I said, well, I need another little hair here. And she told me, if you're looking for imperfections, you are always going to find them. Of course, I had to correct her, and I said, I wasn't, but you see how people, myself included, tag someone else with what tag someone else, or even perceive, or even define someone else with these limited perceptions. Hold on a second. I wrote this down. True ignorance is when you think everyone should think the way you think. Ignorance makes you suffer. Ignorance. And ignorant people suffer the most, meaning ignorant people suffer the most. When I say ignorant, I'm really talking about not informed. Let me just switch the word, not informed. And everybody isn't going to be informed. Everybody isn't going to get it. Everybody isn't going to wake up at this moment. Everybody isn't going to experience another level of awareness. Some people are just, they're just not. Back to the moment. Oh, you know what? Yes. And yes, happiness in the moment. It is about an energy of contentment in the moment all the time, not sometimes, all the time. That means if something doesn't work out the way the or you have a idea of an outcome and the outcome doesn't happen. Oh, be detached from everything, from outcomes, from even this idea. I was talking to someone else at the gym, and he says, I used to think my life was boring, but then, I've had a pretty interesting life. Who is defining boring? Who is defining mediocre? Who is defining meaningful? Who is defining purpose? And I'm here to say that practice not allowing the mind to be in charge of anything. Let me just look at Jay's Meaningless World. What program is that? One. That's right. It is a program. Let's see. Producing. Okay, so Jay is saying producing on a monthly grief newspaper since 2018 to help people on their grief journey. Okay, here we go. I'm going to throw this out, Jay, because you know me. Grief journey. Isn't this interesting? When people die, have you noticed that there's only a certain amount of things you can say? It's so limiting. RIP, rest in peace. This is the one that's such a program. I'm sorry for your loss. And this is another one. I was talking to a neighbor that I just met her yesterday. I lost my husband. This, even that is a program. Grief, death, this whole thing about death is a loss. That's what the world teaches. That's what the program is, that death is a loss. Death is just change. Can we start a movement that death is just change as opposed to death is a loss? I get it. That's what the program says. It's a loss. And then because of that program, that people that have lost a loved one go through this program of grieving. Oh, did I say that? No, that's horrible to say. So my point is, just know that I have to grieve after someone dies. I promise you, I understand. There is a shuffling. Okay, now this energy was with me. Now they're not. But if you are really in tuned, there is never a loss. Energy does not die. Consciousness lives forever. And I can, hey Mom, hey Marcel, hey Ralph, at any time. I know nobody talks about it, but this grieving, it's another program that is limited to a behavior, limited to thoughts. Now, it's easy for me to talk. It's easy for me to talk like this because I'm going back to what if my son, I have one son, what if he died? how I have no idea how I would respond. However, I definitely know this is way out there, but I definitely know that if my only son dies, that is part of a universal plan that I am supposed to experience, because there are a lot of parents, mothers, and fathers that their children have died before they have died. And from what I hear, the program it's one of the deepest programs that is a child is not supposed to die before the parent. The order of things is the parent dies and then the child dies. But when it happens and the child dies first, when the child dies first, it is not an easy program to dismantle. I don't even want to dismantle. How about this? It's not an easy hold on. It's always the candles. Hold on. I'm back. I blew out the candles. I opened the window. I'm in a smoke-filled room, coughing over smoke. Lord, where was I? Oh, monthly grief newsletter. Even, the first thing, and it's not an easy topic. It is not an easy topic to talk about death. It is not an easy subject. It is not comfortable. Why? Because the programming says this is an uncomfortable thing to talk about. This we don't. My son and I, when we've talked, we we talk openly when I'm gone, when I'm dead. Just this whole breaking this clause, this box of restriction of how does the program masses think about death. Am I making sense, Jay? So the grief, I get it. In fact, you know what? I want to connect you with someone. There's a gentleman that I know. He's out of the country, but there's a gentleman that does the same kind of thing. And he, when I say the same kind of thing, it's this focus, it's his mission, it's finding meaning, and especially because he had a son that died at I think it was 12 or 13 years old, and he's made it. And he's an elder gentleman now, and he's made it his mission to connect with parents that have lost. I say lost, that have lost a family member, and going through this grieving. But see, no one is giving anyone an alternative. No one is meaning an alternative other than what the program says, because there are some situations, scratch that. There are some situations when someone dies, there is a sense of relief. When I say relief, maybe the person was mean, maybe the person was used to beat them or molest them, or you name it. There is a sense of relief as opposed to the grief. I don't even know where I am right now. I'm just talking. My entire reason for this topic is to share with as many many people that are open, is that there is more than one way to live, respond, behave than the programmed way. It is the programming that is causing the suffering. Can you imagine? Can you imagine redefining, or not redefining, but there's I'm just thinking about relationships, because when you break up with someone, there's supposedly a mourning and a grief period also. But if everybody is doing it, then you know it's a program. Does that make sense? If everybody is behaving the same way, the exact same way, then isn't that something to be questioned? And especially when the belief is there is no such thing as death, meaning conscious death. The spirit doesn't die, consciousness doesn't die, the body goes. And this is just part of the evolution. This is just part of all of evolution, conscious evolution. And that brings me all the way back to the beginning of how each moment is precious in a way. Each moment can be celebrated, no matter how it feels, no matter what the stories are. Each moment, even, let me say this week I went to court, and I saw the attorney that, I've been battling for almost 8 years. Haven't seen him in a while. Haven't seen him since, I think, 2021, maybe 4 years. And prior to, there was a sense of little, tightness. Going to court is supposedly a big deal, serious. I'd let all that go. It was a moment in time. I even smiled. I even contempt of court. I even smiled. It's letting go of what this program, scratch that. It's practicing letting go of what this program says, what life is really all about. And I used to believe it was, and I used to believe that it was changing someone, inspiring someone, or my own, when I say mine, the mind's idea of what was important. And I'm here to tell you that meaningless, all of it. Nobody wants to hear it. With that, there is a lightness, an ease, a relaxation, a what's funny, what's interesting in the moment, what's inspiring. And my contribution to this planet is my personal energy and my personal vibration. That's it, in every single moment. It's the moments, without a definition, without a judgment. It's the moments. Where's my what? Hold on. This is how we live our moments. This is what I'm practicing with my moments. Say all of these are moments. Moments. Just keep drinking in the moments. Just keep drinking in the moments. It's not good. It's not bad. No meaning. Just drink in the moments. And practice being, and I'm practice being the example of the universe. Hot day, cold day, rainy day. Moment. And letting go of thinking that I am driving this ship, letting go of believing that I'm making shit happen. Not making my thoughts happen. Thoughts come and go. I'm not making my thoughts come and go. They come and go. I'm not my thoughts. I'm not my story. I'm not the stories. I'm not the thoughts. I don't use the word my. I'm not the thoughts. I'm not the stories. I am consciousness having a human experience, and that's it. Nobody wants to hear that, though. We're going to be dumb. And it's okay. Keep doing what you're doing, everyone. Stay busy. Stay busy. I mean, I'm busy. I do stuff, but I know that what I'm doing has no meaning other than the moment. I get it. I know what's I occasionally see what's out there in the news. The world is in a I'm not even going to say it's a mess, because that's a judgment. The world is programmed. People are so programmed that they're not even realizing that they're feeling, that they're believing, that the emotions are because of a program. This worrying, 98% of the population worries. Worrying is just a program. You didn't pop out of the womb knowing how to worry. Your numbers, your likes, your millions of followers, the money in the bank, meaningless. So not to answer the question, to sum it all up, finding meaning in a meaningless world, there's no meaning other than what the mind comes up with. And this was another level of the show. It's beyond. I'm finding that I'm just allowing the universe to scratch that, because the universe is going to do what it's going to do. I'm not allowing anything. It's going to happen, whether I can't stop it. I can't speed it up. I can't make it go faster. I can't make it go slower. What's going to happen is going to happen. How I practice responding, how I practice embracing, how I practice being detached from all of it, how I practice letting the universe, scratch that, because the universe is driving, how I practice letting go. And if you ask me what's valuable and what's important and what is purposeful, is knowing the truth. Knowing the truth. And I used to say, well, I want a million people to get the message. Millions. No. Yesterday, one woman that I'd never met before, we looked into each other's eyes. And she said, thank you. And I said, no problem. And there was a connection for a moment, and that's it. Next moment, next moment, next moment. It's about the moments. Because sooner than later, it's going to be over. How the hell did I get to be 70 years old? Sooner than later, it's going to be over. All of it. Next generation isn't even going to know who Steve Jobs is. The next generation isn't even going to know who Gandhi is. The next generation isn't even going to know who Kim Kardashian is. It's going to be over. This getting caught up in this is meaningful. This is, how about just letting go? Okay, I'm on this amusement park ride. This life is an amusement park ride. And I'm on it. And I'm on it. And so are you. And what is important? And what is valued? In fact, Google the 5 most common regrets of the dying. Google that, the 5 most common regrets of the dying. All right, I think I'm at the end of today's show, unless anybody has questions. Producing a monthly grief. Okay, so do what you're inspired to do. But let go, scratch that. Practice letting go of the stories that give a reason, a purpose. It just is time to experience this. That's it. It's just time to experience this moment. The world out there is chaotic with all the people going back and forth, but know that chaos is even order. Even the chaos, there's order. One of the my favorite teachers is Alan Watts, and he says, you can't experience light. You can't know what light is without darkness. You can't experience white without black. It's an experience, people. It's not the be all end all. It's not, but the mind will keep you trapped. The mind will keep you in a prison. The mind will keep you believing that there's something to all of this. And there just ain't. Okay, that's the end of today's show. Wow. I don't even know if I made any sense, but if I just felt inspired to share that. Meaningless world. It is meaningless. And keep believing. I'm done with you. I'm done allowing the mind to be my warden, my prison warden. You know what I'm going to watch after this show? Shawshank Redemption. What a great movie. I digress. Well, that's the end of today's show. Thank you for listening. RealitySpirituality Radio is every Monday at 9 Pacific Standard Time. And Reality Spirituality is live every Sunday Pacific time. I said that already. Pacific Standard Time. My website is RebeccaNorrington.com. Follow me on X at RL Norrington. I'm on LinkedIn. My Instagram handle is Reality Spirituality. My YouTube channel is live and kicking, finding a lot more viewers. Shout out to MD for helping me with that. Like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, Rebecca Norrington. My second book, Program for Unhappiness, Exposing the Untold Truth, is on Amazon. In this book, I list 56 program behaviors, and I also list 26 behaviors that will add to your happiness. 56 behaviors that subtract from happiness. And then I also list 26 behaviors that add happiness. Until next week, my dear audience, I want you to remember who the hell you are. You are a physical extension of the universe. Your conscious energy, which is always evolving, always changing, always growing. Love is patient and love is kind. Be patient and be kind to yourself. Be your own best friend. Remember, you cannot have a happy ending to an unhappy journey. It is about the journey. You've been listening to Reality Spirituality Radio with yours truly, happiness specialist Rebecca L. Norrington. Ah, ah. Remember, happiness is a practice skill. And I promise you, the more you practice, the more peace you're going to find. And your experience reflects what you practice. Have a conscious week. Be conscious, stay conscious, live conscious, and self-aware. Be conscious, live conscious, stay conscious, live self-aware. What? Me. One of these days I'll have a producer. Queuing up the theme song, which I have to do myself.
Oh, it's time to get real. It's the newest. Yeah, keep your ears open for this one now.
Spirituality.
Question for
10:21. I talk for an hour and 10 minutes all by myself. Feel good right now. What a great life, huh? What a great life. My father used to say that. He said, this is a good life. This is a good life. And I never believed him. Never believed him in the moment when he was saying it. But it's true. This is a good life. All of it, no matter what happens. Scratch the word good, because that's a judgment. But this is an experience. This is an experience. Wow. Filled with stimulation, emotions, stories, judgment, programming. But it's more than all of that. Remember who you are.